Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, and worship unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechakodash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim. All right, this is Revelations chapter 8 overview. How many verses is in there?
We got, it's pretty sure it's about 13.
All right, we're going to do the whole chapter. All right, so let's just jump into it.
Mm-hmm. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 8, entitled The Seventh Seal. It reads, "And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour." Verse 2, "And I saw the seven angels which stood before the Most High, and to them were given seven trumpets."
Yeah, seven trumpets, which these trumpets are basically, they're a sign of prophecy. A trumpet is set as a sign. It's like, okay, a trumpet for war, a trumpet for the new moon, a trumpet for this, a horn for this, a horn for that. So it's going to elaborate when we keep reading. Go ahead.
Verse 3, Revelation 8 and 3, "And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with prayers of all saints."
Which incense represent purification. Incense represent, incense represent, like you have frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense represents purity. It goes back to the Hebrew word labuana, which means white. Myrrh represents bitter, which goes into the purification of, essentially the souls of the elect. And it's through prayer, it's through hardship, it's through patience. So these incense have a deeper significance. It's going into the prayers of the saints.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
It says that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints, mm-hmm, upon the golden altar which was before the throne.
Mm-hmm.
The saints of the Israelites.
Right, correct.
As Isaiah,
starting with the elect, because when you hear that term saint, in certain contexts it's speaking of the elect of the nation of Israel. In some contexts it's speaking of the whole nation. All right, it goes back to the word kodash, which means holy. Now, the whole nation are saints to a certain extent because we are that holy nation. We are that peculiar people, as it says in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Those are the Israelites. But those who the Lord are dealing with and who he's going to bring forth salvation to is only the elect of the nation of Israel, which those are the saints in this context.
I got you.
Go ahead.
There's precept, Ezekiel 9 and 4, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, mm-hmm, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof." And that's speaking of the elect. Mm-hmm. The men that sigh and the cry. The city is talking about Babylon the Great. That great city. Mm-hmm. And through the midst of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Mm-hmm. And that's speaking of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says set a mark. That mark goes into a mark of an exemption, or in the Hebrew it's a tawa.
Yeah.
All right. It says upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Right. So we're being Israelites, we're in the midst of an abominable situation, man. Yeah. Babylon the Great, man, mother of harlots, mother of all this wine that's being pushed throughout the whole entire earth, man. Wine goes into philosophies. You can do this, you can do that, you can be a Mo, you can, democracy, religion, It's all right to be an adulterer. All these things, man. All these things that are abomination in the eyes of the Lord. But continuing on in verse 4, Revelation 8 and verse 4, and the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints ascended up before the Most High out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and earthquake. So, if I'm not mistaken, that goes into ICBM missiles.
Read that again.
Revelation 8 and verse 5, and the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth, and there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake.
That makes sense. That makes sense. To be honest, I've never heard it specifically broken down like that, me personally, but that does make sense. Because through the prayers of the saints is the judgment gonna come forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if spirit have it, we'll double check it, through the spirit. But that definitely it sounds like it makes sense.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Reading on Revelation 8 and verse 6, and the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound, to blow the trumpets.
Mm-hmm.
The first angel sounded, and there were followed hail, and fire mingled with blood.
Right, with some other missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It says, and I believe that goes into the 3 classifications.
The third part,
man, which is the wicked.
Right, third part of man, which are the wicked, which are the Edomites. That's right.
Because you got 3 classifications. You got the sons of God, or the Israelites, the sons of men, which are the nations, and you got the son of the wicked, which is the Edomites.
Correct.
All right.
That's right.
Verse 8, Revelation 8 and 8, and the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain, burning with fire, was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood.
Right. Which a mountain represents a nation, And the nation of Edom, which is that third part of man, is the nation that's ultimately going to be destroyed through missiles. Now, all of the Edomites are not going to be destroyed, but America is going to be destroyed. And America has the highest concentration of Edomites on the earth. And their power structure, their government is going to be destroyed at the coming of Yahushua and through the missiles.
Yep.
You got it, bro.
Kind. Let me see if I have a precept. This is Book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord.
Right, exactly.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which destroyest all the earth.
Which that's what America's done.
Through its wine, its philosophies. It's Hollywood, it's Christianity, it's democracy.
It's glyphosate. Poison in the water, poison in the food, poison in the minds of the people. All type of people having different birth defects. You got spraying Agent Orange over on the Vietnamese. Everybody having, people's heart can't work. Their cardiovascular system is completely destroyed. The vegetables can't grow.